please rate out of 5 the quick service restaurants, Domino's, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Burger King, from the point of view of quality and safety standards?
McDonald's have some phenomenal food safety processes.
Which ingredient do you think are not favorable from, let's say, the health perspective?
Vegetarian mayonnaise. It's made out of oil. Originally, mayonnaise is made out of egg. And in oil, you are blending in acids and flavors and starches to make it a nice, fluffy looking. Now, what's happening, because oil is expensive, you are reducing the oil and you're adding more starches. Some would use palm, which is worse. They mix this mayo with cabbage and carrot to make the coleslaw.
Correct.
Now that is really bad. As consumers, you see कि कितने कम chemicals हैं. Just turn the label and you will see E numbers. E202, 211. तो simple thumb rule for me would be जितने E numbers हैं वो खराब है, उतने chemicals हैं.
Sudha Shankar Narayan is a global leader in the food industry with over 28 years of experience and is the Director of Food Safety and Quality Assurance at Papa John's Pizza International. Leading product and supplier development across Asia, the Middle East and Africa, she has studied at the Culinary Institute of America. A certified BRCGS lead auditor and expert in sauces, bakery, dairy, meats and frozen food, Sudha has assessed countless manufacturing sites worldwide.
When you say ketchup and sauce, there should be an awareness that sauce and ketchup are not the same. Anything which has got tomatoes, it's about 24 or 25%, only then you can call it ketchup. Sauce basically is वो कद्दू का भी बन सकता है या किसी चीज़ का भी बन सकता है. अगर आपको इसको टमेटो केचप करके बेचना है तो आपको 25% of tomato paste should be there.
What do you have to say about colors? Why is it permissible then under food laws?
It's globally permissible. These colors are used because there's a demand. If today I make a chocolate or a drink which is pale looking, chances of people buying it will be less. Because we get attracted to things that look good and look beautiful. We have found a way of faking this cheese using mayonnaise, adding some cheese powder to it ताकि वो cheese वाला flavor आ जाए. Consumers should be aware that a liquid cheese is basically not cheese.
What about the packaged fruit juices?
The law says you have to a certain percentage of fruit. Only then you can categorize it or call it on the label, bold and big as juice. If it doesn't have, then you should call it as a drink, like a fruity.
The vegan meat is not good from the health standpoint in comparison to the actual meat, right?
Vegan meat loaded with chemicals. Sausages, very little percent of chicken and mostly other fillers, which could be soy or which could be potato powder. Sausage is one such thing, they are very cheap meat. They just use ground meat.
Can you tell us some of the dark secrets of the restaurant industry? Her career includes launching Domino's in India and 11 years at McDonald's India, where she developed iconic menu items like the Mac Spicy Burger and the Mac Flurry. We are honored to have with us on today's food episode of the Body to Being podcast, Miss Sudha Shankar Narayan. Namaskaram, Sudhaka.
Namaskaram, Shloka.
The reason we are connected today is because of the conversation we had in Nepal. So for the viewers, Akka had come for one of our Pashupati Nath trips in Nepal. I still remember the 1.5 hour tempo ride where you doled out all the dark secrets of the food industry. And I don't know where that time went. At the end of it, I was only left regretting that why didn't I capture this on camera? So I requested you and you very graciously obliged. And here we are today, 3 months down the line.
Yeah, I think we went in November or no, December.
Yeah.
So 3 months down the line.
Yeah, so here we are and I can't wait for the viewers to hear the information from the horse's mouth.
Thank you, Shloka, for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us some of the dark secrets of the restaurant industry? Given that so many of us today are reliant on food apps, I think most millennials, people between the ages 25 to 35, almost everyone has one or the other food app, if not both.
My worry is about, all these, I keep wondering, while it's a thin balance between convenience and, is it safe? For example, dark kitchens. Or dark hi hote hain. Dark kitchens they don't have a front end. And
like a cloud kitchen?
Like the cloud kitchens.
Cloud kitchens are which don't have a seating space.
No seating and they don't have a frontage. You don't know कि ये cloud kitchen से ये brand का product आ रहा है. मतलब बहुत सारे brands के वो kitchen में. It's a centralized kitchen.
Okay.
Which can make for multiple people. So tomorrow if you want to start selling, say you are making aloo paratha very well and you want an aloo paratha brand to be launched, you can set it up in a dark kitchen. They make it for you and you are just the marketing person who is branding that and
Oh.
तो आपने उनका kitchen space लिया हुआ है. So it's like you're instead of you investing in your own kitchen space and doing all the thing, you're using their kitchen space. And so they are making it for you as per your recipe.
Okay.
And so जब आप ऐप में ऑर्डर करते हो उनके वहाँ पे आता है, उनके किचन में आता है कि ये वाला श्लोका's paratha is ordered and that's how they'll make based on your recipe and it is shipped to you. Now as a consumer, I'm looking at Shloka's Instagram page and Shloka's thing and she's showing ki great paratha, very tasty, this, that, Amul butter, whatever you might do. But ये kitchen जो है वो मुझे दिखता नहीं है ना because it's dark. It's behind the scenes. And so I'm not saying all kitchens are bad. And there are some real very, very good cloud kitchens which big brands use. But a lot of these chota mota kitchens have opened up in various areas and they make all kind of food. And it comes to Swiggy, Zomato, whatever. I don't know who's really checking the quality of these places.
How do I know which is the dark kitchen and which is not?
You would not know.
I would not know.
No. How will you know?
Maybe the one, unless it's a big brand, like when I live in Bangalore, the Meghnas and the Nagarjunas, they have cloud kitchens. I'm assuming those will have centralized kitchens and then they get transferred to these cloud kitchens.
Yeah.
But if it's...
See, the original concept of the cloud kitchen was, कि 3-4 brands, instead of हर एक ने अपना invest किया, people have come together.
Yeah.
And they have this one company who's got this cloud kitchen and he will take the, आपको पराठा बनाना है, ठीक है, मैं बना दूंगा. I will charge you a fee and then you make it. So you as a brand will give me your recipe and I will say अच्छा ऐसे बन रहा है, ठीक है, डन. आपके लिए मुझे थाई फूड बनाना है, ठीक है, मैं वो भी बना दूंगा. आपके लिए मुझे सैंडविचेस बनाना है, मैं वो. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट इज मिनिमाइज्ड, एक स्पेस में हुआ. और ये दिस कैन बी नीड नॉट बी इन द प्राइम लोकेलिटी बिकॉज वहाँ पे आके कोई खाने नहीं वाला है ना. You need not have a parking or whatever. So it can be in a much cheaper location.
Yeah.
Cheaper means from an expense, it can be cheaper and hence your food cost will be lesser because you're sharing the expenses across 3-4 months. As a concept, it's great. It's brilliant. We just have to ensure that, these cloud kitchens are also monitored. And these days, I was seeing somewhere, it was a very popular dabba which comes in, I sit in one of the WeWork spaces. And when I'm in the lift, I often see there's some dabba which many people order, dabba garam or something like that. But everybody orders it. So I was like, "Acha, ye brand kya hai?" And because I'm in the food industry, I went and Googled. So I couldn't see a front end of them कि आ कहाँ से रहा है. ये कोई तो एक किचन से आ रहा है. Now it could be a homegrown kitchen. और वो कुछ रेगुलेशन नहीं है, रेगुलेट नहीं हो रहा है वो कि वो टेस्ट कैसे, इनको जब लाइसेंस मिल रहा है टू डू दिस कमर्शियल, how do you really audit them and how do you ensure that food safety is there and they're using the right norms? That is very, very important. You don't need to put chemicals. You can just pack it in a certain way that packaging acts as a preservation. Or glass bottle is a better method of preservation than plastic. You'll put lesser chemicals in it versus a plastic. So food industry will design products to ensure that the food is safe for the weakest.
Okay. Packaging done in a plastic bottle versus packaging done in a glass bottle. The glass bottle packaging is safer than a plastic bottle packaging.
Because plastic is glass mein when you fill, you have to pasteurize the whole thing. And therefore you are okay to put lesser chemical. So if I have to choose same thing which is available in plastic and in glass, I would always pick the glass. So it's delicate, it can break. But I'll pick glass because I know कि उसमें chemical थोड़ा कम होगा as compared to the plastic.
Okay.
बिकॉज प्लास्टिक को आप हीट नहीं कर सकते ना, तो फिर वो केमिकल ज्यादा डालते हैं. एज आई सेड, टू एंश्योर दैट इट केटर्स फॉर द वीकेस्ट.
Okay.
And there are certifications which can be done, which is these are called Global Food Safety Initiative, GFSI certificates. So you ensure that they are FSSC 22000 certified or they are ISO 22000. These are food safety certifications.
Okay.
ISO 22000, FSSC 22000. Or BRC GS certified.
So my question is that in these QSRs, which ingredient do you think are not favorable from, let's say, the health perspective?
My personal favorite, which I would definitely want to avoid, is mayonnaise.
Okay, why?
I think it's made out of oil because India consumes vegetarian mayonnaise. Mayonnaise typically originally mayonnaise is made out of egg. You beat egg and oil and you put your mustard and salt and that's how you get this nice fluffy mayonnaise. But in India, we are largely vegetarians and hence the development of vegetarian mayo. Now, vegetarian mayo means what? You're not using egg, you're using oil. And in oil, you are blending in, say acids and flavors and starches to make it a nice fluffy looking mayonnaise. In short, you're eating oil. Now what's happening, because oil is expensive, you are reducing the oil and you're adding more starches, more thickeners, flavors, mayo becomes such a easy carrier of flavor.
Correct.
So you can put any flavor, mint, kuch bhi dalo, like tikka dal do, and it's just entered into our kitchen.
And what oil do they use?
So depends. Some companies would use sunflower, some would use palm, which is worse off, and retail brands would all do that, and it tastes good. And because I know what it is, it doesn't taste good for me. Also, I mean, I just don't like mayonnaise. I think it is so unhealthy to consume. But mayonnaise blended with, say, coleslaw is such a popular thing.
Yeah. I love
see
coleslaw.
every roadside. Aajkal, the other day I was in Andheri, I ordered a sandwich. A sandwich would be what? Bombay sandwich would be green chutney, some vegetables. And all I had to worry is, kids' vegetables, are they clean? Are they sanitized? That's all. But now you've got mayo, lots of mayo on it, and multiple flavored of mayo. And I'm like, why are you putting so much of mayo? There's butter, chutney, and multiple flavors of mayo. And these mayo probably are made out of palm oil, so it's heavier. It's not good for me. And they mix this mayo with cabbage and carrot to make the coleslaw.
Correct.
Now that is really bad. I'm not saying bad from a taste, I'm saying more from a food safety, because cabbage and carrots are raw products. They will have certain microbial load, like quantity of micro. हर food में होता है, कोई भी sterile और zero नहीं होता है. So even if it's nicely washed and sanitized and treated and all that, then you're mixing that cabbage with mayonnaise and making it into a coleslaw that is sitting on the table counter of the sandwich wala or wherever. And if it's not really temperature controlled, which is at 1 to 4 degrees, 1 to 4 degrees, then the bacterial growth will keep multiplying and fast. Then
So even if you're
everything-
having a Subway sandwich, you should be toasting it.
Subway sandwich is not toasted because
They give you an option, I think.
No, that is a bread. They toast the bread. So Subway में it is definitely critical that they use of freshest salads.
Yeah.
And if you see a Subway, they have these nice chilled containers. So those cabinets below, they are actually temperature controlled. Everything which is stored there, including your veg section or non-veg section, will be in that 1 to 4 degrees.
Okay.
Which is why they keep closing it. Because every time they open, hot air goes in and the temperature retention will be a problem.
Okay.
So there are procedures that I'm sure they must be following. Is it's maintained at the temperatures, they record the temperatures, and they just stock jitna is required for that 1 or 2 hours. The main stock will be sitting in their main fridge or main chiller. It's called a walk-in chiller. That's where they will keep it. So what's happening is you're actually consuming chemicals. If you see a lot of mayo brand, you just read the label and you would see oil, maybe 20-30%. I remember it used to usually be 60-70% oil. If you ask generally a chef, how much of oil would an eggless mayo have, they would say 70%, 60%, 50%, 55%.
So more proportion of oil vis-a-vis a regular mayo.
A regular mayo would be egg based, no?
Yeah.
Egg and oil combination.
So उसमें oil कम है
कम
in
होता है,
proportion.
हाँ, egg and oil. इसमें you would have majorly oil and then you would have acids and starches. So basically it's called an emulsion. What is an emulsion? An emulsion basically is taking water and oil को जोड़ लेता है. So it forms an emulsion. So when you have to mix water and oil, see, would you be able to just mix water and oil? You won't be able to. You have to put a chemical to get that oil sticking to the water. So water in oil or oil in water, depending किसका proportion ज़्यादा है, it gets into each other. And then there is a chemical which will ensure that this holds well. And that's called an emulsion. So acid also acts as an emulsion, and so there are various ingredients which go into it to make it an emulsion. I think what is important as consumer is you see कि कितने कम chemicals है मेरे mayo में. If you have to eat mayo, just turn the label and you will see E numbers, E202, 211. तो simple thumb rule for me would be जितने E numbers है वो खराब है, मतलब उतने chemicals है. They are artificial chemicals. And these E numbers are globally same.
Okay.
So if I've got 4 mayonnaise brands and I have to pick a mayo, I would just turn all of them and I will see अच्छा किसमें कितने E numbers हैं. तो I think on an average 6-7 तो E numbers होते ही हैं, 7-8 E numbers होते हैं. और किसी में अगर 2 या 3 ही है, which is probably a preservative or a thickener or maybe like that, then you are better off picking that up versus picking something which has got 8, 9 E numbers.
To continue watching shorter pieces of this content, you can subscribe to Shloka Clips on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video and follow us on Spotify.
Cheese is used in most industries now, from the quick service restaurants to the local food side chain. You can see all kind of dosas are now made with cheese.
Correct.
Like masala dosa में भी cheese डाल के दे रहे हैं.
पाव भाजी
पाव
में.
भाजी में भी cheese है. तो India consumes cheese like nobody else. Cheese, I think in cheese the problem which I find, which is very unique to India, is that we have found a way of faking this cheese also. And what I mean by faking this cheese is, using mayonnaise, adding some cheese powder to it ताकि वो cheese वाला flavor आ जाए. Cheese flavor, cheese powder, and use it like a liquid cheese, and then put that on pizzas, burgers, sandwiches, and bake it. And so consumers think, oh, ये melted cheese है.
With the cheese burst.
Cheese burst uses liquid cheese. Yes, correct. Yeah. So consumers should be aware that a liquid cheese, matlab, it's basically not cheese. It's basically a cheese, less percent of cheese powder or dairy powder like milk powder, and remaining is probably oil and starches. It's not like 100% cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, some product by nature, by design, so like a cheese burst by design requires a liquid cheese, which is why they probably have used a cheese sauce where they put cheese flavor and they put, you put cheese flavor or dairy powder in a mayonnaise kind of a sauce. And they wanted to give the appearance of cheese which is melting. But actually, when cheese melts, it looks different, right? Versus, say, a sauce. Cheese, when it melts, it settles. When it cools, it settles. And that's how cheese is.
Right.
So अभी vegan cheese जो internationally आप देखते हो, वो सारे oil के बनते हैं. उसमें dairy बिल्कुल नहीं डालते because it's vegan. They are against dairy. So they're 100% oil. So when you claim it as vegan internationally, they know it's made out of oil, and therefore that product was designed for people who cannot digest dairy, who are lactose intolerant. So they can digest the other fat, which is vegetable fat, and that's for that cheese is made for them. In India, there's no vegan concept in this whole thing. It's more cost-cutting concept, So you take this cheese and you replace the dairy milk is expensive, and so you replace it with oil, and they are called as analog cheese.
Okay.
So the Indian law classifies it. These are 100% cheese, and this is analog cheese. Our law also says कि अगर आप कोई भी चीज़ हो, cheddar हो, mozzarella
ये
हो,
parmesan and all.
parmesan जो भी है,
हाँ.
if it is a cheese, it will classify कि ये किससे बनना चाहिए और कैसे बनना चाहिए, कितना quantity क्या होना चाहिए. Our law classifies it, not that liquid cheese. It's a filler cheese. See, liquid cheese is a cheese sauce. तेरे को dip मिलेगा या तेरे को Amul cheese spread. They're all liquid cheeses.
Yeah. Which is proper cheese.
Which is
actual
proper cheese.
Okay.
That's a separate product.
Okay.
Like ketchup एक product is a separate product. Cheese is cheese, like, grated cheese or sliced cheese or cheese blocks. Imagine somebody is giving you that. But वो dairy नहीं है, it's made out of oil. Like paneer is also a cheese. But instead of making it with milk, these days people make it out of oil to save the cost. So अगर पनीर 400-500 रुपए का मिल रहा है और आपको 150 रुपए में कोई पनीर बेच रहा है,
Correct.
then 100% वो fake चीज है. So Indian law covers everything. If it does not have dairy in it, you can't call it paneer.
Correct. Got it.
And they also specify कि कितना percentage होना चाहिए. Similarly, cheese में ऐसा होता है. If you don't have milk, if it's made with anything else apart from milk, then you can't call it that specific mozzarella or cheddar or whatever. Then you have to use it as, to give it a separate name. And it comes under proprietary foods.
Okay. I want to ask you about ice creams and desserts. I was watching a video sometime back on Instagram. There was a reel, and this lady showed the process of making an ice cream. There was hardly any actual ingredient. Everything was chemical. There was so much oil. There was so many, and then you call that a vanilla ice cream, which is practically predominantly oil. What do you have to say about the ice cream market and the dessert market?
So I'll again direct you to the food law. If it's an ice cream, if the product is called ice cream, as consumers we should read. क्या लिखा हुआ है? Ice cream लिखा है. If it's ice cream, it will have milk. It cannot be made with oil.
How much milk?
Fully made with milk only. It cannot be made with oil. But if it is made with oil, then it is to be called as frozen dessert. It's not called as ice cream. We may think it is ice cream because वो shape में, उस color में, उसके साथ रखा हुआ है. but it is called as a frozen dessert. Now that I've told you, you can actually go back and go to the ice cream shops or go to the parlor, open and see, pick up those ready ice creams, and you will see that जिसमें ice cream नहीं लिखा है उसके ingredient पढ़ो, पीछे oil का नाम लिखा होगा, कौन से oil use किया हुआ है to make that ice cream. So, and companies who use oil to make ice cream, I'm not saying they are wrong and they are bad. They just choose a different ingredient to make an ice cream.
Correct.
When you are consuming, you should be aware that I'm eating the ice cream made out of oil or I'm eating the ice cream made out of milk. And it's a choice. Somebody doesn't want to eat milk because he's dairy intolerant or it's given up dairy. Then you can eat this ice cream which is made out of oil. Most likely in India, the brands which make with oil also add some amount of milk solids. They add skim milk powder or milk powder or something to it to give that kind of a flavor to it.
Which is again not good.
Yeah.
Health-wise.
Yeah. So
give us some real life examples of what would be an ice cream and what would be a
So
frozen
Amul
dessert.
is all under dairy. They don't make any frozen dessert. They make ice cream. But if you go and see quality walls, it's a frozen dessert.
Okay.
Walls के जो cornetto आते हैं.
Right.
Cornetto
Oh,
खाते हैं आप
अच्छा.
कभी you read it कहीं भी ice cream नहीं लिखा होगा वो.
Oh.
So they are law abiding. It's right.
Okay, but the perception, the public perception
Public
is
perception
that
is
it's an
ना
ice
आपको
cream.
लग रहा है कि बच्चा आइसक्रीम खा रहा है, हम
हाँ.
आइसक्रीम खा रहे हैं, आप वो whipped cream जो कंज्यूम करते हैं, जो आप मूजेस वगैरह में whipped cream होता है, वो largely oil based होता है.
अच्छा. वो softy.
Softy भी डेयरी का होता है.
Okay.
You can make it with oil also.
And all these क्या उसको बोलते हैं gelatos and all, what do they say? It's called a gelato?
Gelato, हाँ, उसमें डेयरी नहीं होता. That's basically crushed ice with flavors and emulsifiers.
But not good, right? You would prefer an ice cream to a gelato?
Yeah, of course.
Any other problem, any other misconceptions with vegan foods that you would like to bust? You can talk about maybe this.
One more point is on the paneer. So paneer, as we know paneer, everybody would think if I say paneer, they know that it is milk which is acidified. Acidified means either I put dahi or I put lemon, citric, and I दूध को फाड़ के I take that protein out, that paneer out, and that's my paneer, and then I kind of remove all the way out. That's how paneer is made. The simplest way of paneer, and in India everybody would think paneer ऐसे ही बनता है, correct? But these days you see instead of adding milk, it's made with oil by putting acids, chemicals to mimic it look like paneer. And this is probably targeted for people who want to eat vegan. And I'm okay with it. I feel that as long as you're saying it's vegan, oil-based, non-dairy paneer, it's fine. But this is being, I don't know, made at what places, smaller food chains or food industries and smaller companies. And all these places, they sell in these small packets where it's, as per law, you can't call it paneer because paneer, as I said, when law may it's classified what is paneer. Paneer should be made out of dairy, out of milk. Then they will rename it as paneera. और whatever like that. ऐसे एक A लगा दिया, एक P लगा दिया, double P लगा दिया, double E लगा दिया, like that. So then सर ये वो वाला नीचे bracket में लिख दिया proprietary food या whatever ऐसे. So read it. It's not a spelling mistake. They are telling you it's not paneer. Okay. And so bigger, like if I go to any shops to go and buy product, like if I go to a retail outlet to buy, the chances of finding this is less. Because वहाँ पे consumer शायद पढ़ेंगे या लेंगे. But you see a lot of these roadside shops or smaller food restaurants and all that, they will have people selling it to them. So you are eating मटर पनीर, आपको पता नहीं उसमें पनीर असली वाला पनीर है कि fake वाला पनीर है. So all those is a gap. We have to ensure that, and which is why there again the whole cost segment comes. If something is cheap,
yeah,
अगर मटर पनीर आपको 60 रुपए में मिल रहा है वो और उसमें अच्छा खासा पनीर है, that paneer cost you at least $200-300, and it cannot be cheap because it's made from milk. And 1 liter milk से कितना सा पनीर मिलता है, इतना सा. And a liter of milk at least cost you $50-60. You cannot get a paneer item for $50-60 if they're using a real paneer.
Correct. Namaskaram everyone. So we have an upcoming Ladakh yoga retreat. It is yoga and sightseeing. The module that we will be taking up is the Yogasanas module. It is a very subtle and powerful yoga module, and this comes from a 15,000-year-old science. This has transformed my life completely, and I can't wait for these tools to get to you. So please do join us. I look forward. See you soon. Because convenience is taking a priority, people consume a lot of frozen foods. Now from the health standpoint, we know it's a problem, but we know we can't completely evade it. So is frozen food a problem from a food technologist's point of view?
Oh, very good question, Shloka. I'll tell you why. Because people often think frozen matlab kharab. Again, freezing is a method of preservation. And why I keep coming back to this is because then you avoid using chemicals, you freeze it. And when you freeze, what you do, जो भी पानी है food में, it becomes ice, freezes. And because it freezes, it's safer because no bacterial growth happens.
Okay.
So it's safe. From a food nutrition, it locks it.
Okay.
It doesn't deteriorate further. So it's definitely, first would be fresh, second would be frozen, and third only would come chilled, and then would be ambient. Ambient means room temperature. Now there again, different category of food performs differently in different temperatures. For example, mayonnaise को तो आप freeze नहीं कर सकते हो. क्यों? क्योंकि लिए वो emulsion है. As I explained, there'll be water and oil, या oil in water blended with a chemical to hold it. If you freeze it, the water will freeze into ice and will break. तेल और ये अलग हो जाएगा, so you can't freeze it. So frozen food में all the baked goods, all your vegetables, meats, all that can be frozen. Now, when you freeze it, one basic thumb rule is कि frozen products में कोई preservative नहीं है, so that is out of your head.
Okay.
You won't add preservatives.
Right.
You don't need to add preservatives in frozen food. So if you're choosing and freezing a food is a method of convenience. Today, if you so from a food technologist, I would say that I mean today if I have to preserve bread or dough, then freezing it is better than keeping it into chiller between frozen and chilled.
What is the difference between frozen and chilled?
Frozen is minus 80.
Yeah.
And chiller is at 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 degrees thing. And usme what happens is the water is constantly evaporating and the product is drying as it's in a chiller. For a bread, suppose if you've got bread at home or you've got any baked food. So our tendency is कि हम उसको fridge में रख देते हैं, chiller में रखते हैं. Bread starts getting stale because it's not frozen, so the moisture is still there in it. It's constantly evaporating and it's drying the product, and therefore it doesn't taste as good. Plus उसमें microbial growth तो आएगा ही. But moment you freeze this product, baked goods perform the best when frozen. You freeze the bread and use it when you need it. It will stay for long. It will perform well. आपने चपाती फ्रिज में रख दिया versus put it in the freezer and then take it out and cook it. Nutrition wise also frozen food is better than a chilled.
Okay.
Because chilled will keep deteriorating with each passing day.
Pastries would be chilled.
Chilled, yeah.
Ha.
Frozen भी होते हैं pastry. So if you've got a frozen pastry option versus chilled, pick the frozen one and then thaw it and consume it. Because that will have better quality and nutrition.
You had also said कि thaw नहीं करना चाहिए frozen को.
वो तो अगर आप एक बार आपने thaw करके refreeze नहीं करना चाहिए. You
yeah,
can eat
बोल-
frozen ना.
हाँ.
Because as I told you that ये frozen food में कोई preservative नहीं डालते. So once you thaw it, it's all come to room temperature or chiller temperatures. सारे जो उसके पानी है वो जो बाहर निकलना है निकल गए सूख गए. It's now ready. If you again freeze it back, then the quality will start deteriorating.
Okay.
So once you freeze a product, you thaw it only when you want to use it. And only how much you want to use it.
Okay.
So if it's green peas, you've got a whole packet of green peas. Just take out, like मेरा classic way is I take an ice cream scoop and I scoop जितना चाहिए वो निकालो, put it in a cup and allow it to thaw and just use that much.
Okay.
और एक बार अगर thaw हो गया, अभी हमें use नहीं करना है, keep it in the chiller. आपको अगले 1 या 2 दिन में you consume it.
तो basically
But
जो
don't
freezer option है that is the frozen and the refrigerated option is the chilled.
chiller. Yeah.
Okay, chiller. Okay.
Yeah.
So takeaway is that frozen trumps versus chilled. So we should go for the frozen option. A, because it locks the nutrition. So my nutrition is also not getting depleted.
Yes. Plus the quality in terms of texture, flavor, color, everything.
Okay.
But and the most important will not have preservatives.
Most correct.
Chilled may you will have to, even if I do a great technology, I will have to put some preservative
Got it.
for it to preserve in chilled temperatures.
Got
but
it.
but आपके पास अगर only option of chilled और ambient है, जैसे एक केक chilled में है और एक चीज ambient में है, तो मैं वो chilled वाला pick करूँगी because it will be more safer.
Okay.
For me, safety is first. in the
Correct.
end. Obviously, fresh is the best.
Got it.
And then comes frozen, and then comes chilled, and then comes ambient.
Okay. Even in frozen, you have a myriad of options, right? From the nuggets to the sausages to the various others. Any of these which are a problem?
No, so again, I'm not saying technology per se is a problem. Frozen as a technology is a good technology because you don't use chemicals and you can preserve the food. है ना? There's a fermenting is a technology. You don't use preservatives and you ferment a product to preserve it. Similarly, freezing is a technology, or canning is a technology, bottling is a technology that you use to preserve food. Now, within this category of food that you see, I always had, I always feel things like, meats and chicken basically. India में तो meats उतने use नहीं होते. It's mostly chicken. We are a chicken consuming country. When you buy, in the market, you go and buy some sausages. I've often heard mothers saying that, I've given my son a great breakfast. I've sliced some sausages, pan tossed it with a little of olive oil, and it's healthy. Chicken खा रहा है बच्चा 100%. But ये sausages जिस तरह बनते हैं, they are very little percent of chicken and mostly other fillers, which could be soy or which could be potato powder or whatever, depending on क्या recipe है, कितने price का है, and that's how the sausage is made.
Okay.
So if you really want to eat chicken, then you read the label. Does it say 80% of chicken? Does it only say 10%? As I said, the law says you have to mention. So you check that. And sausage is one such thing, they are very cheap meat. They just use ground meat and then you put all these fillers in it and sell it.
Okay.
So frozen foods definitely, जैसे French fries हो जाए या आलू टिक्की हो जाए या smileys or whatever that you get. It's a very convenient, and every household these days probably stock their freezer up. And fries, when we make at home, it's usually very oily and soggy. That's because it's an X type of potato, which is table variety of potato that we buy at home. But when industry makes a French fry, they buy a certain variety of potato,
Okay.
जिसका moisture content कम होता है. And because the moisture content is less, then it absorbs less oil. And that will be a better French fry with lesser oil than the French fry that you have at home.
Okay.
So when you buy these frozen French fries, it is much better because there is a certain variety of potato which absorbs less oil. So आप उसको तेल में डाल रहे हो to fry it at your end, it will absorb less oil because the potato does not have as much moisture versus you would say अच्छा मैं खुद बनाऊंगी अपना French fries, I'll take potato in
हम
the
ऐसे
house.
बोलते भी है घर पे हमें समोसे तलने चाहिए, हमें फ्रेंच फ्राइज तलने चाहिए बिकॉज तेल अच्छा होता है, बाहर नहीं खाना चाहिए फ्रेंच फ्राइज
See,
बाहर
तेल
से.
अच्छा होना वो तो सही बात है because
हाँ.
you would ensure कि when you're frying the French fries, you'd probably use groundnut oil or sunflower oil, जो भी आप frying के लिए use करते हो. Frying के लिए you would choose oil which is stronger, जो higher temperatures, because frying temperatures are higher. जैसे traditionally हम घी को you would use dalda or whatever in those olden days to make puris, is because it would it would hold the temperatures for higher time without breaking down. In simple terms, you don't want the oil to break down and create trans fat, so you want an oil which can take higher temperatures and you can constantly keep frying things. So you have to choose the stronger, better oil. So sunflower is one such example which you can definitely use, or groundnut oil that you can use to fry, while palm oil is definitely bad for your health. But there again, my choice would be कि I would go to a brand which uses the right potato, because normally potato जब cut करके you put it into an oil to fry, it will absorb anywhere from 28 to 30% oil. But a good quality potato made specifically for French fries or potato based products will absorb no more than 12 to 16% of oil.
Okay.
And it is also in the interest of the company who makes it, because oil is expensive than potato, na?
Aha. Right.
And plus also these brands, they would know that they have to clean the oil, replace the oil, filter the oil.
So coming back to French fries and other fried items, the French fries and fried items made at home will definitely not be good for health, let's say in comparison to eating French fries at a place like McDonald's or KFC.
Yeah, I mean, because only with that factor that I wouldn't say one is better than the higher. I mean, from a nutrition perspective, at home, you don't have access to those specific potatoes grown for French fries.
Yeah.
And therefore, you will end up absorbing more oil.
Okay.
So it's not about sunflower or palm oil or coconut oil or whatever.
Yeah.
It is the fat, how much of fat you're going to consume. And that's going to do bad for you.
I want to get around to talking about other ingredients which are problematic in the food industry. What are the others?
Let's look at ketchup. Very popularly consumed in India. I mean, we as a nation can put ketchup in everything and anything. Right from dosa idli to sandwiches to everything. Namkeen के साथ, correct. Ketchup is just, we just love our ketchup. So जब हम ketchup खाते हैं, हम क्या सोचते हैं? Mothers or generations have thought कि it's just tomato puree with some sugar. Everybody knows it's got sugar because it tastes sweet, and they think it's tomato puree and sugar. क्या ही फर्क पड़ जाएगा? कितना ही खराब होगा? So from a safety, it's quite safe, and I'm always going to use safety as my one step. It's safe. Why it's safe? Because it's acidic. Anything which is acidic, जैसे pickle acidic होता है, जो भी acidic होता है वो safe होता है.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
पर हमें तो बोला जाता है that alkaline foods are safer, like.
हाँ, for your body ना. when you consume something in your body,
Hmm.
then alkaline, I mean, anything which is alkaline will just ensure that you don't get any kind of bimari and all that.
Correct.
From a food perspective, acids preserve food.
Okay.
So pickle preserves food. I mean, acids preserve food.
Okay. From the preservation
Yeah,
perspective.
preservation.
Okay.
तो
ताकि
फिर वो
quality खराब ना हो
खराब
उसकी.
नहीं हो,
Got it.
bacterial growth नहीं हो. But what is key is, when you say ketchup and sauce, I think there should be an awareness that sauce and ketchup are not the same. As per the Indian food law, anything which has got tomatoes, I think it's about 24 or 25%, only then you can call it ketchup. अगर आप कोई
Real
भी
real
tomatoes, yeah. So if you go to a market and you want ketchup for, you want sauce or ketchup, whatever, in India we use the terms interchangeably.
Yeah.
But sauce basically is वो कद्दू का भी बन सकता है या किसी चीज़ का भी बन सकता है, उसमें आपने थोड़ा सा टमेटो पाउडर डाल दिया, कलर फ्लेवर डाल दिया, वो टमेटो सॉस हो गया. पर what the law says कि अगर आपको इसको टमेटो केचप करके बेचना है तो आपको 25%, 25% of tomato paste should be there.
Okay.
But then it becomes expensive, right? Tomatoes I have to use. So what a lot of brands would do, they will just take any other vegetable which is cheaper. You would make a puree of it. You put color, flavor, some tomato powder, blend it, spice it. Put garlic, chili, and then it is sold. So then that is a tomato sauce. It's not tomato ketchup, which has got sugar and flavors and colors and all that. You would see that a lot of times if you're on the roadside sandwiches, if you would buy roadside thele mein jo sandwich is extremely popular, right?
Right.
You see they have this ketchup that they
Yeah,
just squeeze.
yeah.
It's always orangish in color.
Yes.
It's never red
Yes.
because it's probably made out of some vegetables and color flavor and just put there. So that again is we again coming back to that, read the label. If you want to buy a ketchup for your house, saying wo tomato kha raha hai mera bachcha, I'm eating tomatoes, then look at the label because the law says the percentage of tomato should be listed in the label.
Okay.
आप टर्न करोगे तो यू विल सी टमेटोज ब्रैकेट 25%, 24%, 28%. और कुछ सॉस में इफ इट्स अ सॉस इट विल बी 8%, 9%, 4%. ऐसे. See, bakery goods traditionally is made out of eggs, right? I mean, like you would whip egg and then you put in flour and butter and cocoa and whatever, and that's how your cake is baked. Now you want the job of egg to be done by something else. Egg का जो inherent texture है कि जैसे when you beat it and incorporate air in it, the air holds, उसका जो protein structure होता है, it holds the air, and then you slowly put in your flour and butter and then you blend it in. But जब egg ही नहीं है तो then you need something which does that similar job. That something is usually a blend of starches and chemicals.
So that egg now is replaced with starches and chemicals.
Starches and
just
chemicals.
like your mayonnaise.
Yeah. Because it's mimicking the role of what an egg does to the. Now, is it bad? Probably no, because as vegetarians, you want to eat something.
Yeah.
And you don't want to eat eggs, obviously. So hence it's okay. So therefore my answer to you is that it's not bad. But remember, it's got chemicals in it.
But so egg version is better than the chemical version.
Yeah, it's version. But if you're vegetarian, what would you do?
Correct. Yes.
See,
Health-wise, it is better.
yeah. See, the thing is, everybody wants a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to eat a cake, but I'm vegetarian. So what do I do? So that's when there is a demand, right? So all vegetarians will ask for, I need a eggless cake. And that's where the demand and the industry starts feeding this demand. And that's why they start developing products which cater this requirement. Now there, you should take conscious choice of, picking up brands which do a better job at it, to make cleaner labels. Now within these chemicals also, you can choose clean label chemicals, which are not chemicals, they are natural. To do the same thing. Now because you want absolute spongy cake, they try to put more and more chemical to give you that rise and that flavor to kind of make it appealing for you. And that's why that chemical starts getting into the wrong direction. Once in a while, it's okay. It's highly processed, but it's okay.
What about the packaged fruit juices? Because I remember as a child, my mother used to say, "अच्छा, कुछ और नहीं ले रहे तो ये apple juice ही ले लो." In one of the popular brands. कुछ तो पेट में जाएगा अच्छा. What is the truth behind that?
So if a packaged product is called as juice, if the product says apple juice, so then it has got some minimum percentage of fruit content in it. Not necessarily apple only.
Okay.
But the law says that you have to have certain content, certain percentage of fruit. Only then you can categorize it or call it on the label bold and big as juice. If it doesn't have, then you should call it as a drink. So like a fruity. While they'll show you it's got mangoes and all that
luscious
and all.
mango slices.
शायद 9-10% ही होगा या मे बी उससे भी
Oh.
कम होगा. I don't know. I have not seen the label for some time. But juice होगा तो it has to have fruit content. If it is drink, then you can have water, flavor, color, a little bit of pulp to make the feel real and all that.
Okay.
So I think there again, safety wise, I would go for a Tetra Pak. If I'm hungry, I would pick up a Tetra Pak juice or drink because Tetra Pak is a method of preservation. You're not adding any preservatives. वो पैकेजिंग का मेथड ही ऐसा है कि वो प्रिजर्व करता है कंटेंट. सो आई वुड पिक दैट टेट्रा पैक ऑफ जूस इफ आई एम हंग्री, इफ आई एम ऑन द मूव, वर्सेस पिकिंग अप अ कार्बोनेटेड बेवरेज व्हिच इज so picking the lesser of the evil.
Packaged juice versus a packaged drink. So I should pick the packaged juice.
Yeah. Some time back we were talking about cakes. The other day, I mean, these days you have so many cake shops around. Every other corner
Yeah.
there's a cake shop.
Correct.
Like, how do I really choose who's a good cake shop? So, I mean, one of my friend one asked me, "यार कौन सा केक खाए समझ में नहीं आता यार सुधा." And so they will call me and ask. I'll say, simple rule है यार, तुम घर पे तो खाना बनाते हो. You know how much butter costs. You know how much flour costs. You know all that. Somebody is selling you a half a kg cake for like $100 or $99. You think you can make a nice, good butter, flour, good ingredients. Is it possible? How much does chocolate cost? It's only expensive ingredients. If somebody is selling it really cheap, if that brand is selling a cake which is really cheap, then most likely he's not using butter, he's using, say, margarine.
Okay.
Margarine is oil-based product which looks like butter.
Uh-huh.
Now you would say कि margarine बनाना ही क्यों है अगर अच्छा नहीं है health के लिए, but there are people who can't eat butter. For them, that margarine is better. And margarine also functions as, for certain ingredients, it behaves better than a butter. So that's why that ingredient exists in market. Now, if a baker decides to use that and not real good quality margarine, but a poor quality margarine, poor quality wheat, and then put chemicals to give the output, which is possible, then you are just fooling yourself, because then you are buying a cheaper product thinking, it's not going to harm me, but it is going to harm. So you should therefore choose quality ingredients.
I'll begin by asking the question of the hour, which is, please rate out of 5 the quick service restaurants, which is Domino's, McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Burger King, from the point of view of quality and safety standards.
Typically, all QSRs have great global procedures for quality and food safety. Personally, I feel McDonald's would be number one, because I've been closely associated to them, and they have some phenomenal food safety processes. And that ensures that every time you go to a McDonald's store, you can definitely be sure the food is going to be safe. They take absolute care. Their systems are built in such a way that the chances of you to falter is much lower. And morning, afternoon, evening, before the rush starts, they have again check on the entire food safety processes. And food safety per se basically means time, temperature, quality, all that comes into it. If the frozen food are stored frozen, is the freezer working, is the temperature is right? So it's been recorded every single day, thrice a day, Similarly for chilled, similarly for the shelf life. So somebody really goes and checks this. So procedures are there in place, and if followed, definitely it's a much safer place, that I would say, from a food safety perspective.
Okay. So first would be McDonald's. If I had to choose eating out
Yeah,
from a quick service restaurant, it would be first McDonald's then.
I mean, I think the burger company is first, because everything is fried, and so McDonald's, then Burger King, and then maybe Domino's, because it's heavily crowded, so the food turnaround is faster. It's not sitting there. And then the last one would be Pizza Hut.
So you're saying a burger trumps over a pizza in terms of quality and safety standard?
I'm aware of McDonald's system, and I'm assuming the Burger Kings will be similar. And all these QSRs, Shloka.
What is QSR?
So QSR is quick service restaurants. And in quick service restaurants, and if it's a global brand like Pizza Hut, Domino's, KFC, McDonald's, they have global standards of food safety and quality, which is like very clear written down procedures on how the kitchen will operate, how the storage will operate, everything very clear. कि सुबह क्या करना है, दोपहर को क्या करना है, रात को क्या करना है. It's very, very detailed. So then absolute, like a school timetable. It's
like
very
to the minute?
To the minute. In the sense, every individual who walks into the store, he would have a role defined and what he has to do. From a food safety perspective, if it is a plethora of various kind of food, and some of them are global QSRs and some are local, I would probably go to one of the global QSRs, because I know that, they will have
standardized procedures. So like when you say global, meaning if there's a, let's say Pizza Hut, Domino's or McDonald's versus let's say an indie brand?
Yeah, maybe versus say some other local
Huh.
brand. I don't know. I don't have an access to
Aha.
understand.
So, for example, you said the global quick service restaurants have a standardized procedure. How does that ensure that the food that I provide as a global provider is safer vis-a-vis, let's say, a local player?
See, safety. First of all, understand safety. What is safety? Safety means it's not spoiled.
Okay.
If it's frozen, say for a if it's a patty or if it's just for the sake of viewers, frozen food that we mostly use in a house is green peas. So frozen means it's properly frozen, and it's maintained in that temperature. Throughout the time I want to use, because if it is not maintained at that temperatures that the product is intended to be, designed to be in, then it can get spoiled. And then suppose you make a product using the spoiled product, then it will not be good for the consumers to consume it. So hence it is important that you have procedures in place which will ensure that your food stuff is stored, cooked, packed, and delivered in the way it is supposed to be done at the standard time, temperature, and procedure. So it's basically time, temperature, and procedure, correct? So if I have to make a burger, I take fresh buns, I take a patty, I fry it, I put sauce, salad, build it into a sandwich, and I'm giving it to you. For making a pizza, I slap a fresh dough, I put sauce, cheese, toppings, and I bake it in the oven and I give it to you. So there are set procedures. Now, if somebody doesn't use fresh dough, the dough is like really very old, or it's the cheese is sitting out, it's not sitting in the right chilled temperatures because it's dairy, it needs to be in chiller. But somebody chooses to keep it at room temperature, कि बार बार मुझे जाना पड़ता है, kitchen से निकालना पड़ता है, तो वो बाहर रख देता है. So those things will then deteriorate the quality, definitely. But for safety, it's definitely detrimental because as I was telling you in the bus the other day, for me, when I'm deciding to eat out, my first is safety, food safety. I don't want to fall sick. So food safety is number one for me. Second for me would be quality, nutrition, and then comes the taste. I wouldn't do the reverse order, If I don't know कि यहाँ का खाना कैसा है, then I will go to a place which is crowded, which most of us do, कि यहाँ पे बहुत लोग आ रहे हैं, so it's going to be
Faster moving items.
And I would also assume when I go there, I wouldn't take anything cold. I would take hot, because cooking is a step to kill any bacteria or anything. So be it baked or fried. At that moment, I'm not thinking, oh, मुझे fried नहीं खाना है, या मुझे cheese नहीं खाना है, मुझे it's not. It's about safety. So safety trumps over everything else.
So, a quick recap. If I'm choosing to eat out, let's say I'm in a food court, I should be looking at global QSRs versus local. I should be looking at restaurants which are serving hot food and जिसमें ज़्यादा भीड़ हो because the items will be moving fast. So these are some of the parameters basis which I should decide कि मुझे यहाँ खाना है या नहीं. You spoke about colors and you said that it's for the visual appeal. So ठीक है, I remove that from my diet. But what about flavors? Like you have so many essences. You have the kevda essence used in biryanis and so many others. What do you have to say about that?
So flavors again, Shloka, you should try and use as natural flavors as possible. Just a cinnamon, cardamom. These are flavors. You can use that. Or you should go for natural identical. Food industry also has got NI. Natural identical flavors and natural flavors. So you read your label. If it says natural flavor, great. Or NI means natural identical. What a natural identical means is that compound exists in the nature. It's only made in a laboratory.
Okay.
Using biotechnology and made in a laboratory. So it's available in nature. It's not a unique compound जो आपको nature में मिलता नहीं, जैसे vanillin, जो vanilla essence होता है वो vanillin होता है, और उसका cheap rip off जो synthetic flavor जो बोलते हैं, which is a chemical compound which is not good. But using actual vanillin will be very expensive, so people end up using that synthetic vanillin flavor, which is not good. You would rather opt for a natural identical flavors. So food industry uses flavors obviously because what taste that connects to taste. Good companies definitely would try to keep it as natural as possible. और where they cannot. Usually sauces में flavors बहुत use होते हैं. Frozen food में flavors use नहीं होते because they are just food is just a frozen food like a frozen patty or a frozen nugget or they are just whole ingredients crushed, spiced, fresh spices or herbs are mixed and then they are frozen. But sauces is where you use maximum flavors are added. You want a peri-peri flavor, or you want chili flavor or whatever. So there are options to use natural flavors and natural identical flavors. One should definitely avoid artificial flavors.
So natural is fine and identical is fine.
Natural identical, which basically means कि वो एक industry में बनता है to synthesized in a way which is
But it's not a problem.
it's not a problem. Yeah,
All right. So what about Kevda essence?
not good. Yeah.
Any other essences that which are commonly used are not good, practically speaking?
So any of these flavors, अगर उसका कॉपी सिंथेटिक फ्लेवर बना
तो
है,
केवड़ा ओरिजिनल हो सकता है?
हाँ हो सकता है,
अच्छा.
पर वो मिलना मुश्किल होता है ना, और
Okay.
वो एक्सपेंसिव होता है.
रोज
और
रोज
use-
वाटर,
हाँ,
रोज
rose water,
एसेंस.
हाँ.
हाँ.
तो उसका आर्टिफिशियल भी आता है, which is cheaper, no? So people who use it, I
Uh-huh.
think, are not aware.
Right.
So bigger companies are aware. The regulatory tells you, and therefore then you ensure that like a brand like me would, I would say that I want to use only natural flavors where possible. At the most, go to natural identical flavors. I will never go to a synthetic flavor, because then you are crossing the line.
Since you spoke about colors, again a huge industry. Colors are very rampant, right from the gems and the other candies that you get, which are given to children, unfortunately, to your soups. So tomato ketchup, they add the color to the dals, to the butter chickens. I mean, literally everything has color, for it to look very palatable. Red velvet pastry. I think all these pastries and desserts also have
All
colors.
of them have colors.
What do you have to say about colors?
Absolutely a no. You should just say no to colors. Like how we say no to drugs, you should say no to colors. You should consciously take a choice that if there is a color in this, I'm not going to eat it, because it's not adding any value to you, except it's a chemical and it just gives you visual appeal. That's it. Because something looks beautiful, you are adding that chemical. I would say let's leave the colors to our clothes. Let's keep it colorful. But food, we should just take it as natural as possible.
But
because
why
they
is
are
it
chemical.
permissible then under food laws?
See, it's globally permissible. I mean, and there are natural colors. So I'm not saying turmeric is a natural color.
Coffee has color.
Coffee has color. So everything has colors. So artificial colors hote na, that's where I have a problem. Natural color, absolutely fine. Because it adds to aesthetic value and it looks good. We all like to see things looking nice. But adding artificial color, and they will always have an E number, as I just explained to you. Artificial color will have an E number. That's where I have a problem. I feel it's not required. It's done for shelf life. Because if
Okay.
something is stored for like longer period, like 6 months or 5 months or 8 months or a year, then the color will slowly, a natural color will keep deteriorating.
Aha. Okay.
But the artificial color will remain as is. So even when you open the packet after like 7 months, it will still look nice and bright. So all these various drinks, you see blue color, you see green color.
the mojitos and the
Yeah, they're all colors.
mocktails.
Yeah,
Acha.
they're all colors.
Oh.
You should not just,
The syrups
there's-
and all the
yeah, you should just say no to it. And one less chemical in your body.
adulteration pe I had a question. Spices are the most adulterated in the food market. Can you
Yeah.
give us some insights on adulteration and the food industry?
Jesse, Kashmiri chili powder. Food color, red color being used to give you that Kashmiri chili. That's a very common thing.
In Kashmiri chili powder?
Yeah, they put color.
In all Kashmiri chili powder?
I don't know specific brands, but
Okay.
as I've told you right now, turn the label and see. It should just have Kashmiri chilies. That's it, right? It should not have color. Where color लिखा हुआ है तो डाला हुआ है color. See, spices में इंडिया में प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जिस तरह हम ग्रो करते हैं, लॉट ऑफ बैक्टीरियल लोड. जीरा, इतना उसमें बैक्टीरियल लोड होता है. इट्स नॉट as hygienic as we would think. तो but because we put it in oil, everything dies. So spices again is whole spices, which is zira, rai. I would
Bay
always,
leaf,
bay leaves, pepper. These are all whole spices. तो इसमें कोई adulteration तो ऐसा सच कोई नहीं कर सकता.
Okay.
But जब spice mix हो जाता है, that's when you ये powder, वो powder, मसाले powders जो बनाते हैं, that's when they add color, they add some fillers, they would put some flavor components to make it look in a certain way and taste and smell. So it may not be 100% authentic spice. So you have to read the label and you will know. अगर उसमें कोई भी chemical होगा तो जैसे मैंने कहा वो E number आएगा. Turmeric. Turmeric में भी color डाला होता है. Unless certain brands who are 100% turmeric. But a lot of other small time brands would mix cheap quality turmeric with yellow color and sell that. Unbranded जो मिलते हैं, you don't know. Many shops also sell unbranded turmeric, unbranded chili, and you go and see अच्छा लाल लग रहा है, वो अच्छा पीला लग रहा है. You take that and you fill and you take and go, and they are all mix of color.
So whole spices are better than the powdered spices,
At least you know the quality.
and the packaged foods are better than what is available in the open market.
Open market, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
मतलब मिल्क का एडल्ट्रेशन, मिल्क मतलब मिल्क में पानी डालते हैं.
But milk adulteration is common.
Yeah, it's common.
Okay. What are the kind of adulterants that are used in milk?
यूरिया डालते हैं, राइस पाउडर डालते हैं थिक फील करने के लिए, फिर पानी ज़्यादा डालेंगे, फैट के साथ खेलेंगे. सो देर आर मेनी वेज ऑफ एडल्ट्रेटिंग.
Okay.
सो इंडस्ट्रीज एंड कंपनीज हु यूज़ मिल्क, जैसे चीज़ फैक्ट्रीज या तो मिल्क उनका रॉ मटेरियल होता है, पनीर फैक्ट्रीज, उन लोग हर कंसाइनमेंट ऑफ मिल्क जो आता है उसका चेक करते हैं एडल्ट्रेटेड है कि नहीं. देर आर वेरियस टेस्ट टू सी. इसमें स्टार्च, दे विल मिक्स स्टार्च to give it a certain look and appearance कि solid content बढ़ा दें, because how the milk is sold to the factories is based on the fat and the solid content of the milk. So वो फार्मर के साथ अग्री करते हैं कि इतना फैट और इतना सॉलिड कंटेंट का इतना पैसा मिलेगा, तो वो लोग उसमें they will add oil or they would add starch or uric acid and blend it and give it to you.
Okay.
So north में बहुत prevalent है, adulteration of milk is big, especially during festive seasons, because there's a very high demand and you want to fulfill those demands.
You know, I love Chinese, and I've done a couple of podcasts with guests across the health sector, be it doctors or dietitians, and the common feedback was that Chinese food is questionable because one person said it affects the reproductive organ. In fact, 2 people told me it affects the reproductive organ. They add substances which reduce the fertility. And it's come from a certain subcontinent where, this has happened. Second, the second understanding is that Chinese food has a lot of MSG or Ajinomoto. So tab se main bhi, I'm a little worried every time, when I have that Chinese craving, I sort of, keep it at a distance. So what do you have to say about Ajinomoto and...
See, MSG is monosodium glutamate, that's what it's called. It's a flavor enhancer. जो भी flavor डाला है उसको वो enhance करता है. As is उसका कोई flavor नहीं होता है, वो umami flavor को enhance करता है. That is because of this glutamate which is there. Now, in certain continent, it is a normal seasoning in their food. जैसे हम नमक डालते हैं. Sodium chloride is salt. That's also bad for us, right? Anything above a certain level is bad. So I'm not comparing MSG to salt. I'm just giving you an example कि some other continent में MSG is added in their food, especially in the Chinese food. It's added in their food. They consume it heavily. A lot of spices also add MSG. You just asked me this question about spices.
Yeah.
MSG is added in a lot of spices because it enhances the flavor. जो भी flavor है उसमें, उस flavor को, it's called a flavor enhancer. Now, is it bad? Because it's a chemical? Yes, it's bad. If it's made synthetic, as I told you, anything which is synthetic and chemical, it's bad. Its application is using as a flavor enhancer. Would I use it in my products? No, I would not use, because it's an artificial chemical which is enhancing my...
You don't get it in nature.
In nature, you get the glutamates like in tomato. Tomato में जो एक umami kind of flavor होता है, that's because of the glutamates that's present in tomato. But ये जो MSG हमें मिलता है market में, that is an artificial synthetically drawn MSG. And that is definitely bad for your health. And if consumed in excess. But if you're going to have once in a while Chinese, thoda MSG उसमें डाल लिया, it just enhances the whole flavor, it's okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that'll give you the authentic, closest to the, Chinese feel. Like similarly, you would use a soya sauce, which is made by actual soy, versus having color and all that added. Uska flavor अलग होता है. It's more umami versus this, which is more synthetic, which is made with color and to make it brown looking. So my point or my take on this whole MSG is, yes, it is globally recognized in most markets as a negative ingredient, and as minimally used, it's better. But be aware that these glutamates are also present in natural ingredients like tomatoes, as I said, glutamates.
So is tomatoes bad?
No, it's not bad, but it's not good also. I mean, there's nothing great about, but I'm just drawing you a comparison about the flavor. It's a flavor enhancer. It's because of this glutamate compound that is got, which is a flavor enhancer. And it is definitely a chemical ingredient, and hence it is bad for your health because it's chemical.
Correct. So Ajinomoto, I understand, but tomatoes we are using in our
That is
Indian
good.
homes every day. But
Yeah,
that also
that-
has glutamate and the enhancer.
No, it's not. It's a similar compound, just drawing which is
Okay.
why that flavor is of a
Right.
certain type.
Right.
Which enhances a product. आप tomato जब किसी चीज में डालते हो, you get this specific flavor of tomato,
Yes.
right? Not the sour and sweet. The other umami, no, that's because of the glutamate, which makes it tastier. And that's why this component is developed, or this MSG which is used, which enhances any flavor. Is MSG good or bad? It's definitely a negative ingredient. One must restrict the use of MSG. MSG is a flavor enhancer, and there are certain components of MSG or glutamate which if added to food, it just enhances the whole thing. Why does the industry use it? It makes the food cheaper. अगर आपको वही they will maybe have to put more ingredients, more quantity of it to make it feel of a certain kind. I can use less of that and put MSG. This whole thing will be very nice tasting. So it just enhances whatever is the inherent flavor.
Got it. Finally, throughout this podcast, you've been talking about the importance of reading the label, but many people, unfortunately, in India don't know how to read and decide whether this product is good for them or not. So, how do you read the back of the label? And very simply, so like a 10-year-old understands.
Yeah, so you see, by law, you have to put everything on the ingredient list. वो product में जो भी जा रहा है, that has to be in the ingredient list. So the law also says that it has to be in a descending order, which means जो first ingredient होता है, सबसे ज़्यादा quantity उसका है.
Okay.
So अगर first ingredient oil है, तो इसमें सबसे पहले oil आता है. उसके बाद ingredient से starch है, तो फिर वो starch आता है. उसके बाद का ingredient अगर thickeners है, तो फिर वो आया. उसके बाद का ingredient से tomato है, तो मतलब वो चौथा आता है in the whole scheme of things, and so on and so forth. So it keeps in the descending value. So ingredient agar it is, let me give you an example. If it's say juice, you were talking about juice. So water, then comes flavor, फिर कोई emulsifiers, stabilizers, और फिर बाद में fruit juice और fruit pulp, वो 2% because it's very low. But in India, because you have to say कितना percent है वो लिखते हैं on certain category. Like for example, ketchup में you have to say कि इसमें tomato कितना है. So then that will be mentioned in bracket. 25% or 23%. So the label for a layman, you should remember, if you're buying certain product because it's got tomato or because it's got some good ingredient, आप टर्न करके पहले देखो कि वो इंग्रेडिएंट सब्सटेंशियल क्वांटिटी में है कि नहीं. ये तो पता चला वो एकदम लास्ट लिखा हुआ है, बस नाम के वास्ते थोड़ा सा स्प्रिंकल कर दिया एंड देयरफॉर यू आर लाइक, ओ वाओ, आई एम बाइंग दिस. But food law is very clear. It has to be in the descending or highest ingredient first, and then you keep going down with the other ingredients. So that one must see. If you're buying something for a specific raw material, see if that's there in it. And by especially with juices, you will see many times sugar as a second ingredient. First water, second sugar. Matlab, it is full of sugar. So things like that. The other thing you must see is that, like I would always see ki manufacturer kaun hai. If it's a brand that I can recognize, I'll Google and see. Good recognizable brand nahi dikh raha, to then I'll be a little, I hope they have the right systems too, because all this is mandatory on the label. Kisne manufacture? Can mind you, not all country has it. Like many countries globally, it's not mandatory to mention कि manufacture किसने किया है.
अच्छा.
So India has done a good job. It's just that we have not consumed this as a country. And so we have got bigger fishes to fry. We have to ensure that our people read the label. And this I'm not saying aajkal ki baat. This has been like since I was in college, like which is 25, 28 years back also. The law was very clear कि वो grammage कितना है, जैसे वहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि this potato chips is like 20 grams. So जो weight लिखा है उतना weight तो होना ही चाहिए उससे. If the food inspector comes and cuts and weighs and he finds a weight less, then you are liable. The manufacturer is liable. So generally they would put more than what they have listed, or they would list lesser than what they're going to put, by the ways to ensure. So weight, you can see label mein, you can see the ingredients. Manufacturing is something that I will always see from a safety perspective. If it's one of those bigger companies, and they'll definitely have the right standards of food safety and quality and all that. So that's important. And nutrition is again mandatory in our country. Every packaged food has to have a nutritional labeling. किसका न्यूट्रिशन कितना है. So you can always read and understand, and I know for many it's not very easy to understand nutrition label, but you can at least see कि calories कितना है ये पूरे पैकेट खाने में, 100 grams खाने में कितना है. Give you some idea if you are into that whole diet program or whatever. You can at least read total calories, you can read proteins, you can read sugars, you can eat fat कितना है, so things like that you can read if you're going to consume. I would say nutritional labeling is still a next step for India. India has not even reached that level. पहले तो ingredient ही पढ़ ले.
We talked about reading a label. What about the certifications? As a consumer, what are the kind of certifications such as, the FSSAI license and the various other certifications that I should look out for when I buy a particular product?
I think what we owe to our people is the food is safe. आज जब मम्मी खाना बनाती है या wife makes at home, she's ensuring she's putting safe food in front of you. That's a guarantee she gives you because she's cooked it. पर जब आप इंडस्ट्री से लेते हो या you are out there, you don't know what is safe or what's not unless you've consumed it and then आप बीमार पड़े हो तब आपको मालूम पड़ता है कि अरे there's been a problem. So to govern this, there is certifications, there are audits which are done by bodies which are done at definite frequency and their certification का validation होता है कि ये certification 1 साल तक validated है या 6 months or whatever depending on what certification you do. और ये announced certification होगा कि unannounced, auditor announced आएगा कि unannounced आएगा, धमक जाएगा audit करने के लिए. So this is a choice given to food industry.
Okay.
Somewhere I think some level should be mandatory like HACCP, which is very basic food safety requirement. वो तो एटलीस्ट मैंडेटरी हो जाना चाहिए कि कोई भी फूड इंडस्ट्री हो वो हैसप तो ज़रूर सर्टिफाई होना चाहिए. और ये जो सर्टिफिकेशन करते हैं वो दे आर थर्ड पार्टी कंपनीज. ये नहीं कि मैंने खुद ही अपना फैक्ट्री सेटअप किया और खुद ही अपना सर्टिफिकेट, ऐसे नहीं होता है. दे आर थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिटिंग कंपनीज विल कम एंड सर्टिफाई. उसके लिए आई हैव टू रन माई ऑपरेशंस इन अ सर्टेन वे. सो अभी कोई लॉ नहीं है विच सेज दैट you have to mandatory be HACCP certified. Some countries have it, but our country doesn't have it. So you should, I think, have some basic law like this which says that HACCP hona chahiye, minimum, at least safety. Many food industries have much more than HACCP. Most big food industries, आप जो भी बोलोगे Nestle बोलो या Levers बोलो, they'll be far
Because
higher.
they're international.
They are international, plus they are aware, they are bigger brands.
Give us, this is an important question for the viewers. This is not sponsored by any way. You're not getting money. I'm not getting money to promote these. But for the benefit of the viewers, what are some of the reliable brands that one should go for when it comes to food?
Again, from a food safety perspective, all the big brands will have certifications like the Nestle's, the Levers, all of them will have food safety certifications. आप कोई भी big companies आप brand market में देखते हो,
Dabur,
all of them will have certifications. They should have, and you must as in, you can go online and check certification. Okay. They generally put it up or they at least say ISO 22000. Food safety is ISO 22000. उसमें भी काफ़ी होते हैं जैसे ISO 9001 वो it's more it is not food safety, it's not related to food safety.
Okay.
So and because these are not mandatory, it's up to the manufacturer. करना है तो करेगा, नहीं तो नहीं करेगा.
Right.
Most companies will have their own internal systems to ensure कि सब साफ है, सब systems in place है. But I feel from a regulatory, from a country, we should put some basic saying that HACCP तो सभी ने रखना ही है. HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. HACCP certification should be mandatory for all industries. So at least you're one step moving towards food safety.
Thank you so much, Akka. It's been a long conversation.
I know.
But it's been so insightful and everything is new. As I was telling you previously, none of this is, something that I may have heard of or I know of. So it's been eye-opening, everything that you've mentioned. Thank you so much for giving our viewers this fresh and a new perspective. And I think there are huge takeaways and learnings to be taken from this podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shloka, for giving me this opportunity. No bias towards any brands or anything like this. It's just honest personal opinion about the way I would like to consume or my family would like to consume. So just to create the awareness that we cannot survive without the food industry. It makes our life convenient. And let's demand for the right things. Let's demand for clean labels. Let's demand for better quality ingredients, whole ingredients. Yeah. And because the food industry is for stay for longer.
Correct.
And we are going to grow. We'll have more industries coming. As consumers, the moment we become aware and ask for the right things, the industry is going to give you those things. So I think that's the direction we should go collectively together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for co-creating this episode.
Thank you. I loved it. Loved chatting with you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Namaskaram.
To continue watching shorter pieces of this content, you can subscribe to Shloka Clips on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video and follow us on Spotify.
In case you'd like to be a part of our online and in-person yoga, diet and spiritual programs, you can join our WhatsApp group below where we post all our upcoming programs and give free tips on health, diet and lifestyle.